Ian Garry is way more skilled. So you're like, how is Shavkat gonna win? Okay, like, good luck doing that with Shavkat. Have fun. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, this guy's on another level. Like, Shavkat's like I don't know how to put it, like a fast Zamboni, dude. He's top, knee, ground and pound. That was amazing. But if you guys remember, mid-combination, and the most popular opinion of how he died was he fell off the horse. All right, without further ado, Ian Garry against Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I got my handy-dandy notes just to keep me on track because I have ADHD. Okay, so I need a little guide with these breakdowns. First, real quick, tail of the tape, custom tail of the tape, comparing their strengths and weaknesses. And on paper, Ian Garry is way more skilled. He checks most of the boxes. But I'll go into why I don't think that matters, and yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, so Ian Garry's strengths, okay? More polished striking. That's a fact. So we're going to be as objective and fair to Ian Garry. Okay, we don't really like Ian Garry, but as a fighter, we respect Ian Garry taking the fight. But boss move. A short notice, too. Got to give Ian Garry his props. So yeah, he's more polished on the striking. Better combinations. He's faster. He's quicker. Better IQ, questionable, but I think his IQ is slightly better than Shavkat's. Both of them have a really good IQ. He might have better kicks, but I think Shavkat has more variations in his kicks. He throws like spinning kicks, spinning hook kicks, heel kicks. But Ian Garry, I think, has more impactful kicks, if that makes sense. So his calf kicks, one of the best calf kicks in the game, probably top 3. Pereira number 1. And he's got better defense. He's very elusive. He evades punches. He has really good defense. So just to recap, okay? Better striking, better combos, better fight IQ, better kicks, more impactful kicks. It's questionable. And much better defense. So you're like, how is Shavkat gonna win? And arguably, Ian also has better grappling, although I think that's a wash because Shavkat has way better submissions. And on the other hand, Shavkat, he has better submissions and he has more variety of kicks. So you're thinking, it's like, dude, on paper, Ian's way better. So what's the give? And here's why I don't think that matters. Shavkat has strength advantage, which is going to come into play. And he's got, I think mentally he's a better fighter. He's got it. Whatever that it is, all the greats in every sport, Jordan, Braun to an extent, Brady. Brady's a pretty good example because he lacks everything physically, but how is he winning? How is he the GOAT? It's his mental. So I think Shavkat, Ian has that too, but I think Shavkat has that in droves. So there's levels. And he has better Sambo and Judo. They don't have great wrestling, both of them, but I think Shavkat has better Sambo and Judo. Ian's pretty good at Judo too, but why do I think that strength is going to come into play and why these skill gaps don't matter? Because I think skill for skill, they're pretty even. These skill gaps are pretty narrow. They're not wide skill gaps. So what's going to be the give? That's my overall thesis and theory on this fight. Their skills, Ian has the advantage in most everything, but those gaps are pretty narrow. So I think the strength and mental ferocity is going to come into play, and Shavkat has the advantage in both, which Ian does have too, but not as much as Shavkat. Now, game plans for Ian, okay? He's got to stay on the outside, keep the distance. All right, the same exact game plan as he employed with Jeff Neal, he's got to employ with Shavkat. Do not try to wrestle with him. I know the narrative behind Shavkat right now is he's not a good wrestler, which he's not. They're both not, okay? But Shavkat's wrestling defense is pretty good, so do not try to wrestle with him. If he shoots for a takedown, he might just go straight into that guillotine, which Shavkat, I think, has the best guillotine. So Ian 6'3" with a 6'2" reach, 74-inch reach. Shavkat 6'1" with a 6'5" reach, 77 reach. So I think Ian's got to stay on the outside. Shavkat has more power. Don't stay in the pocket too long with Shavkat. Stay on the outside. Utilize those leg kicks, those teeps. He's got really good teeps. And just piece Shavkat apart and stay away from that clinch. Don't try to clinch with Shavkat because I think that's going to be the downfall for Ian. He's got to look for counters. He's a really good counter striker. Ian's a very good counter striker. He's got to look for those counters. That counter right he had against Jordan Williams. Look for one of those, okay? And he should not wrestle with Shavkat. That Venom Page fight, what do we remember from that Venom Page fight? Oh, like Ian dominated. He out wrestled Venom Page. If you look at that fight, guys, he did not out wrestle Venom Page. There was only one exchange at the end of the fight, which pretty much won the fight for him, because that was a very close fight. If he didn't get that last takedown, which is the only takedown you could say he out wrestled Venom Page, but the entirety of the fight, he did not out wrestle Venom Page. First round was he caught Venom Page's kick, and Venom Page lost balance, and that was wraps. He fell down. He couldn't get back up for the rest of the round. And also, that round, it showed Ian's strength disadvantage because he had a choke sunk in, a rear naked choke sunk in, where even Cormier and Rogan thought it was over, but he didn't have the squeeze. He didn't have the strength to finish that submission. It was sunk in. So, yeah, don't try to wrestle with Shavkat. Do not go for the submissions. I don't think it's going to work out for him. And also, with that Venom Page fight, that second round, he clinched up with Venom Page, couldn't take him down. He spent, I don't know, a minute and a half trying to take him down. I'll show footage. So I'm going to show footage. I'm a small enough channel. I can get away with it. And it's just short snippets, okay? Shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, that second round, couldn't out wrestle him. Clinched up, couldn't do anything. That third round, he tried to take him down. He just fell back into his guard. The only way he got Venom Page down, for the most part, was falling back in his guard. Okay, like, good luck doing that with Shavkat. Have fun. The best strategy is stay on the outside, keep your distance. He's got a leg reach. He doesn't have an arm reach advantage. He has a leg reach advantage. Keep your distance. Throw those teeps. Try to chew up the legs with the calf kicks. And in and out with the combinations. 1, 2, and back out, because you don't want to clinch with Shavkat. And Ian has really good counter strikes. Look for that counter. One thing about why I say he has better fight IQ, might have better fight IQ than Shavkat, that Kenan Song fight, which was the only fight I think he got dropped. Song caught him with that check left, dropped Ian. And then the finishing sequence, a few minutes later, next round, that finishing sequence, which was the best combination I've seen. It was like a 40-piece combination, had everything. 1, 2 up top, to the body, back up top, knee, ground and pound. That was amazing. But if you guys remember, mid-combination, he evades that left hook, the same left hook that dropped him like a minute before. Like, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, this guy's on another level. Like, mentally, I know I said Shavkat has the mental advantage, but as far as ferocity goes. But as far as smarts, that was amazing. Mid-combination, he just evaded. Like, it's so elusive, like a split second. I'm like, wow, okay, like, he's able to like process that like that quickly. That was amazing to watch. My whole point with that is he's smart enough to make the right adjustments. Now, if it was a 3-round fight, I would say that Ian has a much better chance of winning a decision, because I don't think he has the power to knock out Shavkat, because Shavkat took the best punches from Jeff Neal, and that wasn't enough. He didn't get dropped. So I don't think Ian's gonna do that unless he catches him with a counter that Shavkat doesn't see. So that's pretty much the only way I see Ian knocking out Shavkat, which I think in a 5-round fight, he can't win a decision, because I don't think he's going to be able to avoid the clinch too much. And yeah, for a 5-round fight, I think he has to take more risks and go for that finish. But I think it's going to have to come from a counter. So stay patient on the outside, look for the counter. Shavkat likes to charge in. And once he does wobble Shavkat, which is a big if, then go for the kill, but don't get overzealous, because Shavkat has really good recovery. So once you see Shavkat recovering, you got to back up immediately and stay away from the clinch, which I don't think he's going to be able to do over the course of 5 rounds. Now with Shavkat, what he has to do, he has terrible defense. Now, I think his defense is underrated. It's not as bad as people make it seem. Like, people talk about him like he's a fucking scarecrow, just marching him forward with absolutely no head movement. He's got decent head movement. It's just that he consistently keeps his head up and gets rocked. So he just has one speed. All right, he's like Shavkat's like I don't know how to put it, like a fast Zamboni, dude. He just has one speed, one direction, dude. Just moves in, charges in, and that's it. So that's gonna give Ian plenty of time and opportunity to find that counter strike. Now Shavkat, what he's got to do, he's got to find that clinch, and he's smart too. He's not gonna just keep striking with Ian. I think maybe 1 or 2 rounds he's gonna get lit up or just outpointed, outstruck, but he's gonna find that clinch, guys. Just like he did with Wonder Boy. first round, Wonderboy, he didn't want anything to do on the feet with Wonderboy. He just clinched up, and that was pretty much the end of that first round. The second round, he found the trip, and then found a submission. So Shavkat's smart enough where if he's getting beat up on the feet, he's not going to just keep striking with Ian. Maybe try to get inside the pocket, dirty boxing. He's got really good knees. Ian's got really good knees too. But I think Shavkat is a little more active, and he's got more thud behind his strikes, whether it's knees or punches. He's got more thud. So in the pocket, Shavkat's going to do way better, but he still shouldn't stay there because Ian's a little more sharp and crisp. So I think Shavkat's going to go to the clinch, and that's going to be the end of the fight because he has way more strength and power. And if you look at their common fight with Jeff Neal, Ian had trouble in the clinch with Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal dominated in the clinch. And with Shavkat, he was getting the better of Jeff Neal in the clinch. So Shavkat is way stronger than Ian. And yeah, those skill gaps, like I said, those skill gaps are narrow. The only difference is their approach, their style. Ian is more defensive. Shavkat is just move forward, and that's it. He's more offensive. He just charges in, while Ian is more patient. So when it comes down to it, I think Ian, for the first 1 or 2 rounds, he'll be able to separate from the clinch. But eventually, Shavkat's going to do what Shavkat always does. He's going to find that trip. He's just way stronger than Ian, and Ian's not going to be able to escape it. I was going to go with Shavkat submission, but then recently we heard that Shavkat submit Ian Garry in a sparring. Let's just assume that's correct. And if that is, we might have to give Ian the credit and say that he's worked on his grappling defense, and he's already a really good elite grappler. So he'll be able to avoid the submissions, but he's not going to be able to avoid the TKO. Shavkat's got really good ground and pound, and he's not going to be able to avoid that, and he's ferocious on the ground. If Shavkat sees that he's not able to submit Ian, he's going to subject to the ground and pound, and I don't think there's any way for Ian to escape that. And Shavkat's got pretty good control, so it's going to be tough for Ian to get back up. If Shavkat gets the trip in the first couple of rounds, Ian might muster up that energy, scramble back to his feet. But a 5-round fight, I don't think Ian's going to be able to avoid Shavkat. Shavkat's got a really good chin, and he recovers. In that Jeff Neal fight where he got wobbled and rocked, he immediately clinched up with Jeff, recovered real quick, and then after a few seconds, he wobbles and rocks Jeff Neal. So Shavkat's got a really good chin, he recovers really fast, and is Ian going to be able to get him? I don't know. I don't see it. And I don't see Shavkat not getting the better of Ian in the clinch and just using his strength to eventually get that trip, which ends the fight. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick. We'll say round 3 or 4 TKO on the ground. Now from here, Ian, he might have a tough road. Even if he gets through this fight, I don't think he has a chance against Belal. I think Belal is a terrible matchup for Ian because of Belal's strength and wrestling. And JDM is going to be a pretty tough fight too, because he's not going to be able to get JDM down. If he had trouble with Venom Page, he's going to have a lot of trouble with JDM. Like I said, with the Venom Page fight, he had to pull guard a couple times to get Venom Page down. And is he going to be able to get the same trips with JDM? I don't think so. And I think JDM might be better on the feet. I think Ian's top 3. He's a very good striker. But after that Venom Page fight, did we overrate him? I don't know, guys. Let me know. I think JDM is a tough fight for Ian as well. And also, his last 3 fights, he couldn't finish. He couldn't finish Magny. He dominated Magny. He butchered his legs. The Jeff Neal, he outpointed Jeff Neal. But that was a pretty back and forth fight. Pretty close fight. And the Venom Page fight, Venom Page made Ian look like a pedestrian on the feet. We're like, dude, he's not as fast as we thought. Is Venom Page really that fast and that good at 37? How old is he? Was he that good where he made one of the top strikers in the division look pedestrian? So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough for Ian in that division fighting the top guys. Now I think Ian should move up. He's got some pretty good fights. He's got Strickland. I want to see that Strickland match because it might be a casual's nightmare because both of them are pretty defensive. So it might be just a defensive chess match, but that's a pretty good fight. And it's got some rift. It's got some hype behind it because both fighters have been beefing, okay? Strickland called his wife a succubus, and we kind of want to see what Ian's going to do about it. Ian, what are you going to do about it, bro? So that's a really good fight. He has no chance against Khamzat. He called out Khamzat. He's got no chance against Khamzat. How is he going to defend Khamzat's takedown? I don't see that happening. But besides Khamzat and maybe Drickus, he's got good fights up there because there's a bunch of strikers, including Strickland, Izzy, Shara Bullet, Shower Bullet Ian is a very good matchup. So I think Ian should move up. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Also, with this fight, if Ian wins, guys, I think it's so improbable. I might go vegan, dude. Okay, I might join my wife. My wife's all about tofu. She's half Korean. She's all about her tofu. I might go full tofu, dude. Tofu, soy, sign me up, dude. Because that's how improbable I think it is for Ian to beat Shavkat. It's not a good matchup, strength-wise. And yeah, if he wins, dude, props. Just own being a heel. Or if you want to be liked, say likable shit, do likable shit. Now with Shavkat, if Shavkat wins, which I think he's going to win, I'm 95% sure he's going to win, I don't think there's anybody in the division that's going to beat him. Now, I want to see the JDM fight. I want to see the Bilal fight. Bilal with his wrestling, but I think Shavkat's too strong. He's going to get back up and just piece him up on the feet. And with JDM, that's a pretty good fight too. I want to see that fight as well, because it's probably going to be war on the feet. Maybe Shavkat just clinches up with him, ends up being kind of a boring fight, relatively speaking, given the expectations. But that's a very good fight too. But I think he wins. As long as Shavkat stays in that division, I think he's going to be undefeated for the next like 3-4 years, be dominant champ. Now, part 2 of the intro I posted, I go into Genghis Khan and the lineage. That's one thing I was serious about. Now, I was kind of facetious in a lot of things I said with the storylines, but I'm kind of hesitant to post that the second part of that video. But one thing I was serious about is he's the descendant of Genghis Khan, and they lost battles. The Mongols lost some battles, but Genghis Khan was undefeated personally. No one was able to get him. And the most popular opinion of how he died was he fell off a horse. And I think Shavkat's falling off a horse analogy, so I use that analogy to say Shavkat's falling off a horse is Khamzat moving down. And Khamzat's not going to move down anytime soon. Now, if Shavkat moves up, that's going to be trouble, because I don't think anyone's going to beat Khamzat. After the last performance, I was like, dude, no one's going to beat him. So as long as Shavkat stays in that division, I think he's got it. And that's it for the breakdown, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts? And who do you have winning and why? Now I think this video, I'm just gonna do a separate video, because I want to keep things a little more digestible. I don't want to post 30-40 minute videos. But yeah, that video, the UFC 10 video, going over those 5 fights I want to talk about, and maybe a few others, and the rants, I'm gonna post separately. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, especially. Until next time, stay tuned for that video. Love you guys. Peace.